Okay. Hello, hello. I'm officially here. I'm live. I know it's been a long time since I've been on and since I've been live, but I'm here. So that's all that matters. So yay, happy fall, first of all. Fall, first of all. Yeah, today's the first day of fall, so I hope you guys are having a glorious and good fall. Happy autumn. I picked up a pumpkin spice latte, very appropriate for today to help me through the day and through the live. But yes, I know Rachel is up first because she donated money. She put in her payment last week, and I didn't go live last week. So she is first up, number one. I already know what her two questions are. So I'm probably just going to dive right into things with Rachel first. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Ashley. Welcome, you guys. I don't see Rachel on here yet, but I know she submitted payments first. So I got to do Rachel's payment first, and hopefully she'll see it. So it's nice to see you too. I mean, I saw you just like a few days ago on Bridget's Divine Darling live, but yeah. Here I am. You can actually see me. I mean, I technically can't see you, but I know you're there because you're talking. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and dive into things for Rachel first because I know she, like I said, she submitted a payment. So if she sees the playback for this, she sees the playback for it. And then she knows what's up. So her first question, like I said, I don't think she's in here yet, but she'll catch it later. Is just like a general reading, general question. So I'm going to see what comes through for Rachel with that. Wait, it was the last live, right? Yeah, like her last live, it was like the final Divine Darlings live. So yeah, that's the last time that we hung out a little bit. But my last live before this one was like a while ago. Just everything's been upside down. It's like constant chaos. Honestly, it's chaos that I do to myself. It's not like my life is actually falling apart or anything. It's just me. It's me. I can be dramatic about my own life. And I always tell you guys not to self-sabotage yourselves and things like that in readings, especially if it comes through. And those are messages I got to remind myself of at the same time too, all the freaking time. So yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Thank you. I'm working on it. I still have to do my Etsy listing for my new deck. Like I have it and everything. And I literally have no excuse. There's no reason for me to not make the listing for it, to sell it. I think that the main two reasons that I haven't is number one, like I said, the self-sabotage thing. I think there's like this part of me, like there's little voice that I need to ignore in the back of my mind that's just like, well, what if you put it up there and what if nobody buys it? What if everyone ignores it and it goes nowhere? So I know like it's obviously not going to make any sales if I never put it up, but I'm not going to know unless I do it. So I think that that's one thing that's kind of tripped me up. And then the second thing is like, it's going to be shipping from somewhere else. It's not going to be me shipping it physically from here. So there's a part of me that's just like, I want to make sure I get the timing right in terms of shipping when I send those decks out. When people do order them, I want to make sure that they get them on time and that I'm giving them the right estimates in terms of time and that kind of thing. So that's all brand new to me, so I want to make sure that I'm just getting it right. So I'm just nervous about not getting it right. And once again, I'm not going to know unless I actually do it. So, like I said, I'm kind of my own worst enemy in a sense when it comes to that. But I feel like we all do that with certain things in our lives. It's like we know what we're supposed to do, but then we stop and we kind of trip ourselves up and we wind up overthinking and overanalyzing. And I do that with everything. So yeah, that's just the nature of the beast, basically. So okay, let me get in Rachel's question here. I can go on more of a tangent of my crazy ass later. Thank you. I hope it'll work out too. So, just one step at a time. All right. So for Rachel, let's see what's going on. What does she need to know at this time? We have the high priestess. So I feel like, Rachel, for you right now, you may be in high priestess mode, which is, someone who is highly intuitive, someone who knows what's going on, knows the drill, know what's going on with, everybody else. But at the same time, you know, you don't necessarily like broadcast your information or what you're doing or what you're up to. um it's almost like, I don't want to say it's like you're being shy and reserved. It's just, you're just being quiet about things. You're not, putting things on social media on blast and stuff like that. Um so I feel like you may be kind of in that mode right now. And the high priestess, because she does keep things to herself, but she does also know what's going on with everybody else. She can be very mysterious to other people, and that mystery can be very intriguing. So there could be others around you who are intrigued. And we got the emperor who just flipped out. And I think it's really interesting. We got that high priestess coming out with that emperor, because I was just saying it's possible that someone may find you mysterious and intriguing. And I feel like that person is probably your emperor, which would probably be that ex. Probably be, the person who is most likely your person. Um, and, because there is like this push and pull and give and take and all that other kind of stuff between you guys. There's this long history. um, I feel like you're probably not putting too much information out there for him to know what's going on, but that's not going to stop him. That's not going to stop him from checking in and being curious and snooping and maybe trying to check out your social media and stuff like that. So I feel like it's definitely your emperor who, um, you know, he wants to know what's going on with his high priestess, is what it comes down to. Um, so yeah, it's definitely going straight into a love thing here, but let's see what else comes through. And we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is about waiting for our ships to come in. Just kind of waiting for a result, waiting, anticipation. This unicorn is standing here on the edge of the water, and there's a ship way out there in the distance, and the unicorn is just waiting and watching for it to come in. So I feel like, in a weird way, like both of you guys are kind of doing that with each other, because it's just like, on your end, you're busy being the high priestess here, and you're not, obviously you're not actively like putting yourself out there or putting out, your business, your information, like advertising what you're up to. You're not doing that right now, but instead it kind of puts you in this position of just like waiting and watching to see what happens, kind of waiting to see how things unfold, like what exactly does wind up coming in for you. So I feel like you're kind of doing that on your end, but at the same time, he's kind of doing that too, because he's watching what you're up to. And he's intrigued and he's curious and he wants to know what's going on, kind of a thing. So, you're waiting for those ships to come in, and so is he. He's kind of, watching and waiting at the same time too. So I feel like both of you guys are almost kind of like waiting on one another. And obviously, nothing is going to happen. No action is going to happen. No steps are going to be taken, as long as um, everyone's just kind of watching and waiting, kind of a thing. Well, let's see what else is happening. What else is going on? We have the Chariot, which would be the opposite of waiting. The Chariot is taking action, it's forward movement, it's beating out adversaries. So I feel like it's at some point somebody is going to have to make the decision to not just be waiting for those ships to come in, and actually get into that Chariot, put the pedal to the metal, and move forward and do something about the situation. I feel like if anything, it would probably be him over you because, the masculine in the dynamic is supposed to be the one who is supposed to take those steps of action and be the ones to pursue and provide and protect. And, especially if you're busy being the high priestess and everything, and, just kind of keeping your business to yourself, there's no reason for you to be the one really to kind of get into that chariot. That chariot is kind of something more so the emperor would do. He would be the one who would want to get into that chariot and move forward. But let me get one more tarot card and then I'll get some oracle cards for you to see what's going on with it. And we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is about, getting into that boat and taking that journey, basically. So, it's frustrating and annoying because obviously, this is someone that you've dealt with for a very long time. You guys do have this long history. You're not currently together, but there's this connection that's there, that's unbreakable. So it's like even when you guys are apart, you're still kind of like in the same boat, still taking that same journey together. Um, so this is a journey. And I hate the phrase too, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, enjoy the journey kind of a thing, but it's true. We do kind of have to enjoy the journey. So I feel like, this is kind of a time where you're both, like I said, you're waiting for those ships to come in. You're both kind of waiting. There's not a lot of action happening. He's trying to figure you out, being all mysterious and stuff as that high priestess. But the good thing is that if he is in that emperor mode, that means that, he may be working on himself and stepping into some, better internal stuff himself. So he can get into his chariot and come towards you, and you guys can, officially sit in that boat 100% together and take that journey. Let me get some oracle cards on the situation though. Gonna get some psychic tarot of the heart. Okay. So what do we got here for Rachel with this situation? All right, we have awaiting results. I'm really not surprised by this. Awaiting results. It's pretty much the same thing as that Three of Swords here, or Three of Wands, where you're both just kind of awaiting results. You're waiting for your ships to come in. And that can be the tricky thing when both sides are doing that. It's like somebody's going to have to make up their mind. Someone's going to have to take action. Because if no one does, it's just going to leave things hanging in limbo, basically. And nobody likes that. That's never any fun. Let's see what else we have. But that's really funny. I also kind of love it at the same time when that happens, when there are cards that come out that kind of confirm what other cards were already just saying in another deck. It's like, okay, yeah, we get the point. This is just double confirmation. We're on the right track here. Believe and succeed. So what I think is really interesting with believe and succeed is it's a boat. It's a boat is what it is. Like it's this boat, and it looks like it's kind of journeying on these, dark waters, these dark seas, but there's clearly a light there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's heading towards the light. And I find that really interesting because it kind of has that similar vibe to me of the Six of Swords, because, they're both boats. Even the boats look the same. They look like these rowboats, basically. Um, so I feel like this kind of confirms that. It's just like, yeah, you're on this journey and it may take a while and it may not always be easy, but you know, you gotta have faith, you gotta trust and believe that things are gonna work out and that things are basically gonna progress and things are gonna succeed. That there is a point to this journey, that you're not just like wandering around aimlessly, that you are going somewhere. Let's see what else we have here. We also have joy and stability. I mean, these are all positive things, believe and succeed, and you will have joy and stability. I mean, who doesn't want to have that? Everybody wants success, everybody wants joy, everybody wants stability. So, um, I do feel like at the end of the day, the end result is positive. Like there is a positive connection here between you guys, and that, yeah, that there is something positive here that can happen. I think it's just a matter of you guys navigating where you're at now in order to get there, and that can be the tricky part, is figuring out how to go from point A to point B. That's definitely the tricky one, and I understand, because I feel like I'm always somewhere in the middle there. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna get from there to there to here. I don't know. And we have the throat chakra coming through. So, our throat chakra is, basically, our voice, speaking, talking, and that kind of thing. So, that may be the thing that needs to bridge the gap. Somebody may need to speak up. Someone may need to speak their truth. Someone may need to talk, is the thing, because, if you're both kind of sitting around awaiting results, he's just kind of watching you, trying to figure you out. You're not even like giving any kind of hint as to what's happening with you. It just makes things stagnant. It makes things go nowhere. So it seems like somebody's going to have to speak up. Someone's going to say something. And like I said, I feel like most of the times it's usually the masculine who gets into that chariot, and he is the one who winds up doing that. Not to say that you can't speak your truth or that you shouldn't. If it's put on your heart to speak your truth about something, then speak your truth about something, and that's not just towards your person. That could be towards any situation in life. If there's something that's on your heart that you feel like you need to say, then you should say it. As long as you're coming from a place from love, that's all that matters. But yeah, somebody needs to speak up, say something. Let me get one more here. And we have open up that throat chakra and speak up. Somebody's going to have to do that. Someone's going to open up and speak up. So yeah, but that's basically what's coming through in terms of the general stuff. I'll get into the love portion of things now for you, although I'm sure it's going to be pretty similar, because the general decided to do what it usually likes to do for you, Rachel, and decided to focus on love. So this is basically going to be like, love 2.0. And now all my cards are like going on the floor. Come here, cards. Come here. I need you. That's too many. Okay. All right. Let's get back into this. J. Oops. That's okay. Typos sometimes happen. They happen. It's all good. No worries. Sometimes you just gotta type a random J. That's okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here for Rachel in her love life. Yeah, I don't know if she's here tonight. I don't think she is. So I'll have to message her on Instagram and let her know that her reading is up. It's on the live. So go watch the replay if you're not here, Rachel. Okay. Well, asking about love, the first card that came out was the Two of Cups. So clearly there is a partnership that is out there for you. Most likely it's probably that ex, because I know you do consider him to be pretty much your twin flame. So there is that partnership there for you. I know that you mentioned not too long ago that there was like another guy that was coming in as a possibility. But let's see what else comes through. At least we know for sure there is a partnership that's going to be healthy and good and happy and all that kind of stuff there for you. That's for sure. Shadow, he's here. He's right there. He's right behind me. He's in his bed. So he's wearing clothes today because it actually feels like fall. Let's see what is the temperature right now. It's cool. It's like actually cool right now. No, 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 no. I just noticed there's something there from PayPal. I will check that after I'm done with Rachel's reading. The weather. That's what I was going to look like. What am I looking at? It is, yeah, it's 58 degrees right now. 58 degrees. So it's basically California winter. Is what it comes down to. Yeah, I figured it's still hot over there. Um, I mean, September and October are still really hot in LA. And it's like fire season right now, anyways. So you guys are going to be on fire for a while. I remember. I remember it very well. Yeah, like it feels so good. I have my window open right now because for whatever reason, whenever I do readings, I get really warm when I do readings. I think it's just because of the energy or whatever. So I'm like, oh, it feels so nice having the window open. Don't have air conditioning on right now. It's so nice. All right, so we got that Two of Cups. What else do we got? We have the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is basically, I always consider this like the genie in a bottle card because it's pretty much you being in the position to be able to make all of your own wishes and all of your own dreams pretty much come true. It's one cup away from the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is ultimate fulfillment. So this is basically saying that I feel like, you as yourself, as a person right now, you're already pretty much like fulfilled and happy on your own. Like, it's not like you need to have a relationship, like having a relationship, whether it's with that ex or somebody else, it's like that's the cherry on top, that's the frosting on top of the cake. But you know that you're the cake. And it's like you're emotionally satisfied and you're happy in your life. And it's like, yeah, you would like to have love, but it's not like you're codependent on it. It's not like you have to have it or you're going to shrivel up and die kind of a thing. So I feel like this is kind of saying that, at least in terms of where you're at emotionally in regards to love, in regards to relationships, is you're in a pretty healthy spot. You're in a very open spot, in a spot that, is a good position to be in if you want to manifest things, basically. Yeah, the forests are burning. I'm not surprised. It's sad. It is really sad, but I am not surprised. Okay, and we have the star. The star is also a really positive energy to be in because, the star is usually someone who, does exactly what you do. Someone who sparkles and shines and just, radiates like joy and love and positivity and all these good things. You know, Other people usually look at the star as someone that they aspire to be or to be like, basically. Sometimes when someone's in that, now he wants to bark. um, Sometimes when someone is in that star energy, people will hold you up on a pedestal because they'll almost kind of see you as like better than them. No one is better than anybody, obviously. We're all on an equal playing field here, but sometimes perception wise, people might see you as better than them. They might put you on this pedestal. I feel like your ex, he may see you that way. He may put you on a pedestal and see you in that star energy, almost kind of like a celebrity of sorts, if you think about it. He may look at you as being like too good for him, which may be one of the reasons why he's not saying anything, especially if, going back to the other card pull that I did, especially if you're also being the high priestess who, doesn't share a whole ton of information. Are you digging to China back there? He's totally digging in his bed right now. I don't know if you see this, but he's totally digging through his bed. Shadow. My dog distracts me from things. What can I say? Lay down. Be a good boy. You don't need to bark. I know. There's a dog barking outside. You don't need to pay attention to that. Just chill. Thank you. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, like I was saying with the high priestess from the other card pull, if you're being secretive or at least not being very vocal about what's going on in your life, and then you're also in the star energy at the same time, that almost may be frustrating for him because it may make you feel so unreachable and so untouchable to him in a sense because number one, you're up on that pedestal to him, and number two, he has no idea what's going on with you, so it's almost like intimidating, which is probably why, once again from the other card pull, which is probably why um he's waiting for the ships to come in, so to speak, and not really doing anything and not really saying anything right now. So the energy that you're in, at least coming through, is great. It's positive. It's not you that needs to adjust to that kind of energy. It's him who needs to adjust to that and not be intimidated or not be threatened or anything like that. You just need to keep doing you, keep shining, keep sparkling, keeping in that healthy emotional energy. um, he just needs to rise to the occasion and meet you there with it, is what it comes down to. Or if not him, the right partner does in general. And we have the King of Cups, which once again, I feel like is going back to your Emperor from the other poll, because the King of Cups is somebody who is full of love, someone who has a lot of love to give. But the tricky thing with the King of Cups is he does withhold it. He does hold it back, which is what he's doing. That is reflective, but that doesn't mean that the love isn't there. The love is definitely there. It's still happening. It's still on the table. See what else we get. I think I'll pull a couple more and then get some oracle cards. We've got the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is someone who takes action and he moves and he comes in very swiftly, very quickly, and hot. Like he is, a fireball of passion. He's no Knight of Pentacles that moves slow. He comes in vroom super fast. So I feel like there may be a point at some point where it's like a switch is just going to flip with him. And he's going to go from this King of Cups who's all holding back with his emotions and just kind of like intimidated with your star energy and, like you being all emotional stable and all the other kind of stuff. I feel like eventually that something, I don't know what it is, but something is going to push him and something is going to snap inside of him. He's going to go from sitting around just kind of thinking about it and waiting and observing to taking that action. And when he does, I mean, he's going to be committed to it. He's going to take that action for sure. And I feel like that kind of just like confirms what came out before with that chariot. It's like that chariot of beating down the adversaries, taking that action with passion. And, because he is the King of Cups, because that love is there, it's not like he's just going to be coming in, just for passion, just for the physical stuff. I feel like there is, love that is attached to that. It's passion and love put together, which can be a pretty potent combination when put together. All right, let me get one more. We have the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is a painful ending. So I feel like he may have to deal with some painful endings with himself before he moves forward and does this and starts to move forward with the action. I feel like the painful ending is probably the relationship that he's currently in, because obviously he's not really free to, move forward and be the Knight of Wands or get in the chariot or any of those other kind of things, as long as he's still dealing with somebody else. So, him ending that situation may be very hard for him to do. It may be painful. It may be difficult for him. But I feel like that's what that's in reference to. It's in reference to the fact that he needs to deal with some painful endings before he can officially take those steps of action, because I mean that just makes the most sense. It's like, I'm sure you wouldn't want him to take action and come towards your way while he's still involved with that other person. Like, you wouldn't appreciate that, the other girl wouldn't appreciate that. Like, that just wouldn't make any sense. It's like, clear up your crap first, then come my way, then we can talk about stuff. All right, let's see what we got here from Journey of Love 2, since obviously you're on a journey, and that definitely came through earlier with that Six of Swords being on the boat and everything. So let's see where your journey is headed. We have doubt. I don't know what to do anymore. So I feel like, once again, this is just reflecting where he's at right now. He doesn't know what to do, which is why there's not a lot of action happening, which is why he's just kind of sitting there observing, waiting, watching. He probably has doubt because, like I said, he puts you in that star energy, up on a pedestal. The more he does that, the more he's probably doubting himself and doubting, like, his ability to come forward. And even if he were to come forward, if you would be accepting of him, if you would be open to him. So he definitely has doubts and fears and just doesn't know what to do. Like I said, I feel like that's going to shift and change at some point. And who knows, with that Ten of Swords, it may not even be him who leaves her. She could wind up leaving him. There's always that possibility too. Sometimes we don't even think of that possibility, but that can happen as well. We have fiery, you make my temperature rise. And I think that makes sense with that Knight of Wands that came through, because that passion is still there. There is fire, there is desire. Like I said, I don't feel like it's all just hormones or anything. I do feel like there's genuine love behind it, but it's not just, la-di-da love. Like, there's some oomph behind it. There's some definite fire, definite passion. Let's see what else we've got. We have, you excite me in ways I never knew existed. Pleasure. So I feel like that's more of that passion coming through. Passion, pleasure, excitement. There's a part of him that may really come on strong when he does come back. So yeah, just a heads up in that department. And we have resentment. Please don't give up. Let me back in. So, that I feel like kind of goes back to, the doubts that he's been having, not knowing what to do. He's probably feeling that way because he's probably scared that you resent him, that, you're not going to be open and receptive to working things out with him. So, once again, same train of thought there. Let me get one more for you. And we have attraction. I am drawn to you uncontrollably. So he's very drawn, he's very attracted. There's a lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of fire, a lot of heat, attraction, magnets. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely still there. So like I said, I think at the end of the day, when it comes to this situation with the ex, he needs to kind of clean up his end of the street. I feel like you've been taking good care of your end, which is, a positive thing, obviously, but he needs to take care of his end. And I feel like when he does, that's when things are going to, like, turn around. Like, as long as he's still kind of living in his mess of fear and doubt and staying in the other relationship, it's just going to stay stagnant. But if he makes up his mind to actually change things, there's going to be a shift. Things are going to change. So there you go. So hopefully you see this, Rachel. Like I said, I don't think you're on right now. I haven't seen you pop up in the chat or anything, but I will let you know that this is up and you can check the playback for it later. Mm-hmm. Yay, pumpkin spice latte. All right. All right, PayPal. Let me look at you because I know something came in. Sign me in. Thank you. Okay. Melissa. I had a feeling it was you. Okay. So, your first question, general reading, what is coming for you? Open to receive. Okay. And second question, what does this Scorpio from a distance think of you? You met him on Insta. You get along through DMs, but he's silent and busy. Okay. All right. So let's do the general stuff first. Just see what's going on in the general neighborhood. Yay, you're here. Yes. I see you. Okay. Let's see what's going on in general for Melissa. See what we got. All the cards want to fly out at me. What do you think, Shadow? Do you want to do the card pull? Do you want to do the card pull? Oh my goodness. He's so cute. All right. First card out is the Five of Cups. So, the Five of Cups is all about a missed opportunity. So I don't know if you've been feeling like there's something that you've missed out on. Or not in your life, whether it's in love or your career or something else. But that's basically what the Five of Cups is all about. It's about like feeling like you've just missed out on something. This unicorn is super hyper focused on the three cups that have collapsed and have fallen over, but it's not paying attention to the fact that there are two standing up right here that are perfectly full, perfectly ready for this unicorn. um so I feel like if you are feeling like there's something you've missed out on, this is a reminder that you have missed out on nothing, that everything's just fine, that everything is exactly how it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to be, and that the opportunities that you think you missed out on, you didn't miss out. The opportunities that are right for you are still there. They're still here. They're still coming for you. So you haven't missed out on anything. There's nothing to be basically FOMO about. I feel like we all can get into FOMO mode sometimes, the fear of missing out. You're not missing out on anything. Everything's good, everything's fine. Even when we feel like that, we're not missing out. The things that we are not supposed to miss out on, we won't. So there are still opportunities there for you. Let's see what else is going on. And we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is, that nostalgic kind of feeling, tied to our past relationships, past love, past life. So I feel like, whatever's going on that you may feel like you've missed out on could be tied to things that have unfolded and have happened in your past. Whether it's in this life currently or something that could even be connected from a past life. But yeah, I feel like the missed opportunities are definitely tied to something that's already happened, something that's deep in your past. Yeah, FOMO. That's why I try not to look at social media much. I know that can be hard. Social media is insane to try and keep up with. Everyone wants to keep up with the Kardashians. Basically, we're not all going to be the Kardashians. It's not going to happen. But that's okay. We don't have to be Kardashians. But yeah, like I said, I feel like whatever it is you may be having FOMO about, it's probably connected to something that's happened in the past. Let's see what else we got. We have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is about working together, coming together as a team effort, and working on building something, building a solid foundation, building something. It could be building your career. It could be being in a relationship with somebody as a team effort and building together in terms of that relationship. But either way, it's a team effort. The most important thing about the Three of Pentacles is it's not one unicorn working by itself. to, get to this goal, to build this foundation, to build whatever it is that they're building. um, it is a group effort. It's a team effort. So I feel like, um, whatever it is that your goals are, whatever it is that you're trying to go for, that this is not going to be just you by yourself. That there are others around you. There are people around you who want to come together with you and help you build and create your dreams, and build and create and get to your goals and have those things happen. And once again, I feel like if you're being tripped up towards those goals and towards those dreams, it's probably tied to those missed opportunities from the past. And I feel like you got to move past that. And there's soul family or a soul mate, just like good people around you, that are meant to be alongside you to help you build the life of your dreams, whether it's in love, in work, in whatever. But there's definitely like a group around you who is meant to help you and assist you in this. This isn't something that you have to do by yourself. Yeah, it's fast and oversaturated online, totally oversaturated. Some areas more than others too, that's for sure. We also have the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles can kind of be that poverty mentality kind of thing. And I feel like the poverty mentality kind of goes back to that Five of Cups, because usually when, once again, we feel like we're missing out on things, we can feel like we're in lack. And that's what the Five of Cups is about. It's about being in lack. It's about, feeling like we're not on top of the world, feeling like we're not good enough, stuff like that. Um, so this is probably stuff that's coming out because it needs to be cleared up. So, you may want to spend some time in prayer and meditation if you don't know what this past issue is, what this past situation is, whether it's like past life or just something from your past in this life. But it seems like there's something coming up from the past that may be kind of triggering this feeling of feeling like you're missing out, and therefore it's not making you feel all that great, making you feel like you're in lack. And when we feel like that, we're not going to feel very motivated to work together with others to build our life, to build the life of our dreams. That's just not going to happen. But I feel like this is where you need to go. This is kind of what needs to happen. But it seems like there's definitely something there that needs to be addressed and needs to be dealt with in terms of where your thinking is at. So hi Grace, good to see you. Welcome to the live. And we have the Magician. So the Magician is, a very positive card. It's all about creating the life of your dreams, which is funny because we were just talking about that here with that Three of Pentacles. Building the life of your dreams with somebody, with a group of people helping you. But the Magician, is basically the one who is able to manifest his best life. He's able to, bring forth exactly what it is that he wants. He's got all the tools. He's got the cups. He's got the pentacles. He's got the wands. He's got the swords. He's got everything that he needs. He can put it together, mix his little concoction, and poof, dream life. So I feel like you have the ability to do this inside of you. You have the ability to be that manifester and to just draw in and attract exactly what it is that you want in your life. So, between this and this, you bring it along together with, people in your life who are going to want to be there alongside with you to help you and assist you. Like that's a positive thing. That's all really good stuff that can definitely happen. It's honestly just a matter of kind of breaking those limiting thoughts that may be setting you back, which is, like I said, that Five of Cups with the, feeling left out thing, and the, poverty mentality, feeling a lack thing. That stuff needs to be broken off because, that's going to hinder that Magician from doing what it needs to do. and we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like, you are basically the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is someone who is very passionate. She's fiery, she's magnetic, she's charismatic. Um, she kind of knows how to put on a show, I guess you could say. Everyone is just drawn to her, is what it comes down to. She's got that magnetic energy. So I feel like for you need to follow your passions just like the Queen of Wands would, because she is so passionate. She follows her dreams. She's shameless about it. She has no issues doing that. So, allow your passion, allow what really lights your soul on fire, allow it to lead you and guide you. Allow it to just, guide the show. I'm trying to repattern my way of thinking and remove blockages, you know. Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, so Queen of Wands is my suit in tarot. Yeah, well, that definitely makes sense. I mean, Sagittarius, fire, totally 1000%. And I totally get the whole reprogramming the way we think thing, reprogramming our brains. It's difficult. It really is. And none of us are exempt from that. We all unfortunately have to um, deal with that. But it's a lifelong process because it kind of never ends. And it's like once we finally overcome one obstacle in our mind, it's like then our mind is like, oh wait, I have a new one for you to overcome. It's like, thanks, brain. Can we ever get a break on this? I don't know. So yeah. All right, let's see what the Sacred Creators Oracle has to say in conjunction to all this. Let's see what we got from there. We have you are light. So, you are light. You have something to give to this world. The world, like, obviously we all know that this world is a very dark and nasty place. Especially within the past couple of years with everything that's gone on with COVID, and just how upside down the world has gotten lately. It feels heavy. A lot of the times it feels heavy and it feels really dark. And I think that's even one of the reasons why it affects me so much. And I'm just like, oh, I need to go live. I need to do something. But then it's just like the heaviness of the world that just winds up weighing on me. And I know that it's going to help me to come on here and, do readings and help you guys. But sometimes we all get consumed by it. But we all need to tap into our light. And you have that same light inside of you, too. And, you gotta let it shine. You gotta let it out. It can be scary. It can be really scary sometimes because there are a lot of people who don't necessarily like the light, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be shining it. Yeah, light is nice. I also have to work on my shadow side. Yeah, we all got that. I got my shadow side right there. I always laugh at that when people talk about shadow work. I'm like, yeah, my shadow work is really cute. My shadow work is adorable. If only it was that simple, right? The good kind. So I know that sounds kind of weird. It's like the good kind. What does that mean? I feel like that's basically kind of saying it's like you are the good kind of light in a sense. It's like you're a light that is warm and not like harsh. It's not like fluorescent light or anything like that. Like some lighting is worse than other types of lighting. Some lighting can be really harsh. Like before I came on here tonight, I was kind of driving I was driving west. I was driving into the sunset, and the sun was like in the process of setting at that time, and the light was super harsh. Like nobody likes it when the light is blazing in your eyes and it's too low in the sky that it even helps with your um with your sun visor or anything like that. And no one likes that kind of light. No one likes the kind of light that's like fluorescent light in like a laboratory or something like that. People like a nice, warm, feel good kind of light. So I feel like that's you. You're that good kind of light. Nothing that's harsh, nothing that is too bright and outrageous. Something that, people just need. Yes, the shadow pupper. He is such a good boy. He is. And we have You Are Epic. I feel like this deck just wants to throw nothing but compliments at you right now. But sometimes we need that. And I feel like, especially if you're kind of in this place right now where you've kind of been feeling, in lack and kind of blah about yourself. I don't feel like there's no mistake. There's definitely a reason why these compliments are coming out at you, and it's not just throwing out compliments at you like in vain or anything. I feel like the universe is trying to remind you, like, hey, Melissa, you're epic. You're the good kind of person. You are the light. Like, I feel like the universe is trying to fill up your self esteem tank here a little bit because maybe it's been a little low. And sometimes we need that reminder. Sometimes we need that reminder that we are awesome, that we are cool, that we do have, talent and amazing things to give to the world, and that we're here for a reason, and that we are a blessing just in existing, just in being present on the earth. And you know what? You will do epic things in life, 100%. Like, there's no reason not to. You're the queen of wands. The queen of wands has that passion and everything. So yeah, I feel like in a weird sense, like, the universe just wants you to know that you're loved. That you're loved, and that you have like these amazing talents and gifts to give to the world, and that you're awesome, and that you don't need to, feel like you're missing out on anything or feel like you're lacking anything or anything like that. Magic happens when you most expect it. So that's interesting. It says magic happens not when you least expect it, but when you most expect it. So this is my take on this card, which is really interesting. Um, so I know a lot of the times when people think about like their expectations towards something, like, let's say you apply for a job or something like that, and you're trying not to have expectations. You're trying not to, get your hopes up and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to get it." And then you get rejected, and then you wind up like feeling horrible about it because you got your hopes up. Or, a lot of the times, especially people in twin flame situations, are just like, you know, go into the conversation, go into the text message or whatever it is you're going to do dealing with your person, go into it with um, no expectations. But I noticed something that kind of trips up in my brain, at least, when people are like no expectations or least expectations and that kind of thing. When people tell me have no expectations, at least for me, I wind up expecting that nothing will happen, period. And then when I expect that nothing's going to happen, period, you know what happens? Nothing happens. It's like if I want to like text somebody and I'm like, okay, I'm going into this with no expectations, not expecting them to respond. That's what happens then. They don't wind up responding. So, while I think it's healthy to not be attached to a certain result, there's a difference between expectation and like attachment towards it has to look like this, it has to happen like this kind of a thing. Instead, we need to expect what we actually want to have happen. So, if you want to be accepted for that job offer, or you want that person to respond to your text or whatever it is, you actually have to, say, okay, yeah, I am expecting that. Now, hold on to it. Like, if this doesn't happen, my life is going to be over. No, don't be attached to it. But yeah, you should expect it, because when we expect good things to happen, they happen. That's like one of the keys to manifesting. Um, so yeah, I know I went on a tangent with that card, but I feel like that really needed to be said, because I feel like a lot of people get that twisted with the expectation thing. They kind of confuse expectations and attachments as two different things, or they don't realize that they're two different things. That's how I feel about messaging someone I'm trying to get to know. I'll try this move. I'll try this more to expect it. Well, there you go. Totally makes sense. Hi, Hearts Love Joe. Welcome to the live. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I always appreciate all the likes and all the subscribes. You know, the more happen, the more it can be out there in the YouTube sphere. And the more I can do for you guys. Also, I'm applying for jobs, so I hope it works too. Yeah, I mean, that applies to anything in life: jobs, career, money, love, relationships, friendships, family, just life. Just life. Just so you know, Hearts Love Joe, I am doing paid readings only. So I'm totally willing to take your question and answer that for you, but I am doing paid readings only. So you can send a payment through PayPal or Venmo. The information for all of that is in the description, and all the readings are $10 or under, just so you know. So we also have make a mission statement for your soul. So yeah, I mean, we kind of like businesses, kind of like how businesses have a mission statement, you know, like, this is our thing, this is what we're here for, this is our goal, what we're trying to do. Um, I know that sounds like a big thing, like a mission statement for your soul. It's like a mission statement for your life or whatever. Um, so yeah, that may seem kind of like a big one, like a big thing to do, but it's totally possible. Something to just kind of ponder on, kind of pray about, meditate about. That doesn't mean you have to have your life figured out and know your entire life purpose or anything like that. But it may just help you in terms of the direction of where you do want to go with things. So that's kind of what we got going on for your general question, for your general stuff right now. Let me get into the other one. I'm just going to go back and double check on the question so I got it right. Okay, we're signing back into PayPal again. What does this Scorpio from a distance think of me? I met him on Insta. We get along through DMs, but he's been silent and busy. Interesting. Silent and busy. Well, considering you guys have just recently started talking, I mean, that could be a lot of things. I definitely wouldn't, take it personally or jump to conclusions if he's, been quiet and he's had other things going on. But I will see what comes through. Okay. All right. So what does this Scorpio think of you? What is going on? What's going on with this Scorpio guy? So he's from a distance. So obviously I'm assuming he doesn't live in California. He has a lot going on. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, if he's being silent and busy, I don't feel like it's because it's like, oh, Melissa, I don't like you. I feel like there's probably just a lot of stuff he may be dealing with his own life, especially if you guys are at a distance. And it's also new and everything. So, oh wow, another country. So that would be far. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So the first card we got here is the Hanged Unicorn, which kind of doesn't surprise me, considering he is being quiet and he is being busy. Um, the Hanged Unicorn is kind of just that. It's kind of like just hanging in limbo. And I feel like, you kind of feel like this for one, like this situation is kind of just hanging in limbo because he does probably have a lot going on in his neck of the world. And the hanged unicorn, it's also a very transformational kind of card too, because whenever I see this card I always think of the caterpillar being in the cocoon and transforming into a butterfly, because like this unicorn is literally hanging upside down just like a caterpillar does in the cocoon. It's hanging upside down from the branch. And um usually when a caterpillar is in the cocoon, that's not a fun period of time. And it's funny because I just recorded a fall 2021 pick a card, which I have yet to post. I got to get that up this week. I have a few pick a cards that I have already recorded that I need to put up, but I got to figure out my Etsy thing, which is why I haven't done it yet. Um, but anyways, this card did come out in one of those piles I just recorded for last night. And I mentioned the same thing in that pick a card, that basically, when the caterpillar is inside that cocoon, its body literally turns into liquid. Like it gets all melty and disgusting, and because it's transforming its whole body from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And can you imagine that? Can you imagine if you just like crawled into your bed one night and then you just turned into goo, and then your body came out completely different the next day? Like that would probably be pretty painful actually. So, sometimes when we're like that, things are painful and not hard, and it's easy and it can be difficult. And I feel like this may be where he's at right now, that he may be quiet because he may be going through kind of this transformational period in his own life right now. um that there just may be a lot of changes, a lot of stuff going on for him, that puts him in that hanged unicorn position, which um is externally, it's a position where not a lot is happening on the surface, not a lot is happening in the physical, but there's a lot happening internally. So I feel like that's kind of where he may be at right now. Which kind of just leaves things just kind of, hanging in the limb there, like what's gonna happen? I don't know. Has you on the edge of your seat, basically. So let's see what else is going on with him. That's too many cards. They're like, let's all come out. No, we don't need all of you. Not that many. And we have the Knight of Cups. So I do feel like, he is someone who, is emotionally available and, has love that he can give and everything, because, the Knight of Cups, he comes along and he brings his cup of love and he presents it to you. And he's like, here's my love. I love you kind of thing. So I feel like he does care about you. He does have emotions for you. Um, but what's interesting is in this deck in particular, it's the swords and the wands where they move really fast in the picture, and it's the cups and the pentacles where it's kind of more like a slower pace kind of walk with the Knight of Cups. So he may be a little slow in presenting that love, but I feel like he does have um, solid emotions there for you. They're definitely there. The Knight of Cups can also kind of be like a smooth talker a little bit too. Because that emotion is there, or even maybe like poetic in a sense. So I don't know if he has like maybe kind of like a naturally creative poetic kind of vibe, but that's something that's definitely kind of coming through with that. And we have the World. So the World is kind of about the cycles in our life, the cycles that are taking shape in our world. um so I do feel like He's currently going through this cycle of the hanged unicorn. I don't feel like he's going to be there forever. Obviously, it's just, that's kind of the period of time in which you two have connected as of this moment. But there could be a new cycle coming along at some point when he's through that transformation on the other side of that. And, I also see the world as like, someone who's able to give you the world or is the world to you or whatever. So, like I said, there's definitely emotion there and the ability for you guys to kind of see the world in one another, go through life cycles together. He's an artist and super creative. Yeah, that's kind of what I was picking up. And then, like you mentioned, he is also a Scorpio too. And, Scorpios can obviously be very emotional. And, if he's creative, you put that together. That totally makes sense. And we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is somebody who definitely speaks their truth because, the King of Swords, he's very much so mental. He's very much so in his head. Um, he's someone who speaks the truth. The tricky thing about the King of Swords, though, is that he can kind of be known as being the Ice King. He can be a little standoffish. He can kind of, be a little cutting when it comes to the truth. Maybe not as much tact when it comes to the truth. Um, so yeah, I feel like there may be a side to him where he may be a little bit like that. So the plus side about this is I feel like he is honest because the King of Swords is honest. He is truthful. So I feel like you don't have to worry about this guy lying to you or, playing head games with you or anything like that. I feel like whatever he says to you, believe him. He's telling you the truth. The tricky thing is that his delivery may not always be so great at it when he does deliver that truth. Or, sometimes, when he may be kind of, quiet and silent in that hanged unicorn type of thing, when he's going through that, he may come off a little icy and cold. Not that he's trying to be that way on purpose. I just feel like it's, once again, it's him dealing with the stuff that he's dealing with going on in his life right now. Yikes, he's very straightforward, to the point and blunt. Yeah, like I was literally kind of thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I should say it. I'm like, almost kind of reminds me of like Simon Cowell, like when he was on American Idol and stuff. Whoa, that just came flying out. I will clearly take that one. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of like Simon Cowell, like, he didn't hold back when someone sucked and they opened up their mouth and they sang. Like, he didn't just say, he wasn't like Randy, who was like, that's a no for me, dog. He'd be like, you are terrible. You should never open your mouth again. Like, I was like, I don't know, this guy kind of like Simon Cowell or something. No, he replies, but he feels distracted because of what he's going through. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't feel like he's doing it on purpose to be mean or anything. It's just, it's that hanged unicorn stuff. It's the stuff that he's dealing with. It's the transformational stuff. So yeah, Simon Cowell's fierce. He is. He's very fierce. But he's someone that I always think of when I think of someone being like uber truthful, like truthful to the point where it's just like, okay, Simon, you can like take a seat. Shut up now. Okay, so this one came flying out. We have the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is kind of a position of just like being at rest. This unicorn is, laying down and relaxing on this mat. The three swords are up here, and this one sword is laying down here in front of it. So basically, it's kind of like this unicorn is like, I'm laying down my last sword. I'm just going to relax. I just need to rest. I just need to decompress. And I feel like, this is something that he needs to do because he is dealing with a lot, with this transformational stuff. I feel like he's a complicated character, and I feel like his complications are probably what intrigues you and what pulls you in and where there's that curiosity, because it's just like there's that intrigue with his emotions and his creativity, and then at the same time with that honesty that he delivers, that brutal honesty. It's a very interesting combination. And but yeah, I feel like he kind of just needs to lay down his sword and just rest, just take it easy. Like he may be way too hard on himself, or the situations that he's going through right now, um where it's almost like he feels like he has to be defensive, or he feels like he kind of always has to have his sword up and always needs to be at battle. But he really doesn't. So I feel like he kind of needs to, just take a chill pill, basically. He just needs to relax, because what he's doing right now is probably making the transformation process more difficult. He even said his energy scattered and doesn't know where to focus right now. He's very complicated for sure. I don't know why I bother, but he doesn't act like other men. Mostly focused on his work. Oh my gosh, cards are going everywhere. Yeah, that makes sense. But you know what? At the same time, like, you can't help who you're attracted to, like, you can't reason with the heart, who you wind up caring about and loving and all the other kind of stuff is who you wind up caring about. Like, we don't necessarily have control over that. Just like, we can see, Joe Schmo good guy over there, and let's say he's the perfect man and he has it all together. Maybe he's emotionally available, he has a steady, secure job, um, he's honest and truthful, he has a good family, he has good friends, he has like a house and all this other, like, he could have the full package, be the most perfect man on the planet. But if you're not attracted to him, and if you're not interested in him, and if he does not make your toes curl, then he's not for you. So it's just like, how we feel is how we feel. We can't, chemistry is there or it's not. And that's kind of more of like an animal instinct thing. And we kind of don't have control over it. That doesn't mean we should, go off with the assholes, obviously. But hopefully we can find a good combination out there where it's like, yeah, this is a good guy and that chemistry is still there. So, all right, I gotta get cards here that fell, and we'll keep pulling to see what else comes out. I'll get one more for him, and then we'll get some oracle cards. So, yes, primal instincts for sure. 1000%. And we have the Ace of Pentacles coming out. So the Ace of Pentacles is about a valuable new start, but it's definitely a valuable start in the physical. It is a physical new beginning. So I feel like there could be an opportunity for there to be something solid between the two of you guys, and, something very much so in the physical, not something that's just living on Instagram or at a distance from each other or in the 5D or any of those kinds of things. I feel like this is something that, definitely where there could be a bridge that is, merged with the two of you, and you could come together in physical form. That, he could have an offer eventually at some point for you, especially if he is, very focused on his work. Men are usually like that because they do have that instinct to provide and to protect. So it's possible that maybe it's important to him. He wants to get all of his ducks in a row, to make a good life for him, and, whoever winds up being that person to be his partner in life to come in there with him. I'm willing to try, but that's up to him too. Oh, totally. It's got to be a mutual effort. But yeah, let me see. Let's see, what else should we go for here in terms of love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I'm like, what deck do I want to use? I don't even know. Well, you know what? I feel like I'm just on a journey of love tangent because we're talking about love. Let's see what could be going on with this guy in terms of love. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's see what's happening with the Scorpio man. The Scorpio on Instagram. We have forgiveness. Please forgive me. Now, I know he obviously hasn't done anything wrong to you or anything like that. Um, but he may have some like guilt complex in general, just dealing with his past, where he may feel like he needs like redemption for that, forgiveness for that. And granted, that may have nothing to do with you, but chances are if we're carrying around guilt and we're feeling bad about something that happened in our past, if we don't clear that up, we could wind up carrying that into a new relationship. So that could be something that could be a part of the transformation that he may be dealing with right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't feel like the forgiveness has to do with you. I feel like that's more so tied to things that have happened to him already in the past, that he may be holding on to guilt for his own role and other things that have happened to him before. We have impatient. I can't wait. So I feel like, he does have that cup of love, the emotion there with the Knight of Cups. But it's not just, like like you kind of a thing. Like he's a guy, like obviously he's got hormones, he wants to use them. So I feel like there is attraction there. There is like this magnetic draw, this magnetic pull to you. And for guys, they can't wait. For girls, it takes us a while. We're like ovens. We got to be warmed up. But for them, they could just, go with the drop of a hat. So I feel like if anything, the distance, that could be something that may wind up being a bigger struggle for him, I feel like, than you, because he is going to have that that itch that needs to be scratched basically. But he is drawn to you, he is definitely attracted to you, so that's definitely there. That primal instinct we were just talking about, that chemistry has to be there, and I feel like that chemistry is there on his end. And we have I've been watching you, jealousy. Now, I know that there's not like another guy in your life or anything like that. And this isn't like a third party thing. So I don't feel like this is so much about jealousy, but I've been watching you. I feel like he does probably watch you on Instagram. Whatever it is that you're posting, whatever it is that you're saying and doing, whether it's on your grid or in your stories, I feel like he's paying attention. He's definitely watching. Even if he doesn't like things or comment on things, even if he doesn't interact with it, he's checking it out. So he's definitely checking out what you're doing on Instagram. He may even be curious and maybe trying to find out what other social media you're on, just to see, if you're on other places like Facebook or TikTok or Twitter or, whatever. He may be, seeing if you're in other places too. But he's definitely paying attention. Even if he's quiet, even if he's busy, he's still watching. They do that. um OMG, haha. It's funny because he doesn't show it though. He seems so chill, but maybe he holds back. Not stories, but my grid. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, especially if this is brand new and everything, he's probably not gonna, be all hey, like right away. He probably doesn't want to scare you, obviously, because there are a lot of guys, who will do that, where it's like right off the bat, the first conversation, they're like, hey, I just met you, and here's a dick pic. Like, it's like they don't understand how to like actually be suave, I guess you could say, and have finesse and actually like get a girl interested. Like, we don't want to see pictures of your penis within 2 seconds of first seeing your picture. like of your face. Like no. Like get to know you as a person a little bit first. Like why does everything have to be super sexual right off the bat? Um so yeah, so he may be aware of that. He may be aware that that may be a bit much and may come across too strong and could be a turn off. So he probably does hold that back, but that doesn't mean he's not feeling it because he's also still a guy. And that's just how guys are. um especially especially Scorpios. I mean, Scorpios can be freaks. Freaks in a good way, but I'm just saying they can be freaks. Um I just want loyal companionship completion. So, I feel like he does see you as someone who could be his equal, his partner, his companion, his counterpart, basically. That it's not just all about this, like I said. Yeah, he's not a fuck boy. That's for sure. He's not a fuck boy. Um but yeah, like he sees value and he sees worth in you. And I love this card because it's the girl and her dog, and I'm a girl and there's my dog. Um, but it's like that loyal companionship that like we feel with a dog, for example. They'll never leave our side. No matter what we say, no matter what we do, they're always going to be there for us. And I feel like, that's ultimately what he wants. And I feel like he does see the potential of that to happen with you. Let me get one more. And we have, oh, you're so cute. You're the one, love. Oh, so I do feel like he feels the feels. He definitely does. I feel like it may be tricky because you guys are in two different countries, obviously, and he is dealing with his own transformation stuff. But I feel like, this hurt or not hermit mode, hanged unicorn, they're practically the same thing. I feel like the hanged unicorn and his transformation, I feel like that started before he started talking to you. So I feel like that's something that is just going to have to play out, like with the world here with those cycles. It's something that's just going to have to play out for him, that he needs to complete. But there's definitely potential for this. And I know for a while now, you've been talking a lot about like leaving California and wanting to travel and stuff like that. And this may be your opportunity, especially if he's not even in the country. You guys continue to talk and continue to get to know each other and have depth in this relationship and everything. You may wind up traveling outside of the country, and he may wind up coming here at some point. You guys may wind up going to Colorado together, who knows? So I feel like there's definitely a lot of potential. I would just say, keep talking to him, see where it goes. Kind of like what I said with that expectations thing. Don't be attached to how it's gonna look and how it's gonna unfold and when it's gonna happen, where it's gonna happen, all that kind of stuff. But definitely expect positive things, expect good things with it. So and if he needs help and he needs support through the stuff he's going through, just be that stable sounding board for him. Just let him know that you're there, that you're open and available whenever he needs it. You're there for him. And I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Yeah, that's something I have to do. Traveling is my thing. Traveling is awesome, that's for sure. I feel I shouldn't initiate all the time, but oh well. There's nothing wrong with initiating. You don't have to do it all the time, obviously, but if it feels good and it feels right to you to initiate, then initiate. And you know what? Like, honestly, that's a problem that I have myself too, is like a lot of the times I'll get up in my head and I'll be like, I can't say anything. I can't do anything because if I say or do anything, I'm being masculine. But at the same time, I'm not saying like go be masculine and go pursue and go do everything, but I feel like it's more so just following what feels right to you. Like If you got to act in the moment and do something, then do something. If it feels good and if it feels right. If you're feeling fear, if you're feeling hesitation, then don't do it. Then it's probably not right. But if it feels good, if you know in your gut, like, yeah, I should say something, I should do something, then that's okay. Then do it. We don't need to like overthink this stuff all the time. And I'm preaching to the choir here when I say this because I am going through the same thing myself. There's something that I would like to say and do. And I'm like, I don't know if I should because I don't want to be masculine. Um, but I'm like, is that a good enough excuse? I don't know. Um, so yeah. um, I've been trying to help him, but I don't know how. He keeps to himself. I like to send him art stuff or anything beautiful because he loves beauty. Well, that's cool. Well, thank you. I hope it works out for me too. I have no idea what I'm doing. I try. I'm just trying to muddle my way through this like the rest of us. But yeah, I would say when it comes down to being there for him, like I said, as long as you have communicated to it and you communicated to him and you've made him aware of the fact that you are there for him, that's all that matters. As long as he knows that you're there, you're open, you're available. If he needs anything, not to hesitate to hit you up. That's all you got to do. It's up to him from there. If, he wants to talk to you and he wants you as support, and he wants to come to you, then he will. And he knows that that invitation is open. You can't, force somebody to come to you and be just like, "Oh yeah, I need help. I need you to listen to me." He knows it's there. So if he really wants to take up that invitation, he will. If he doesn't, don't be offended by it. That doesn't mean it's anything dealing with you. It's probably just not the way that he needs to figure things out. It's probably just not the way he needs to process the situation. But I'm sure regardless, he probably appreciates the fact that the offer stands. So that's probably the most important thing. And if you find a piece of art and you think like, "Oh yeah, he would really like that." Go ahead and send it to him. It'll probably make him feel good. Like if you're doing something and you're doing something because you think it's going to make somebody else feel good, then why not do it? Like that's totally okay. Um, Even if they don't respond, that doesn't mean that, they don't appreciate it. That doesn't mean they don't like it. So that's totally fine. But yeah, yes, that makes sense. I asked for advice concerning spirituality, but he didn't reply, left me unread, so I'll back off. Yeah, well, he's probably trying to figure it out himself. If he's especially if he's going through his own transformation, he may be trying to figure it out. He may not even know the answer. He may just kind of be speechless like, I don't know, I don't know." Um so yeah, and especially if he is like super honest and super truthful, he's not gonna sit there and give you some spiel like, "Oh yes, this is exactly what this means," when he doesn't even know himself. So his way of handling it may just be being quiet. He just may be like, "Well, I don't know. I don't really know what to say to that." So sometimes they're like that. Guys are mysterious creatures. They can be hard to figure out. We can be hard to figure out. And I can have a hard time figuring myself out half the time, you know? Like it's really funny because like I said, there's this new idea, inspired idea I have of something that I could do, but I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. And at the same time, like it was funny, like both of these things that I found on Facebook last night. I was just like casually scrolling through my feed and I found this one thing. It's like this pumpkin jack-o'-lantern thing. And I was like, "Oh, that would be really fun to do and to invite so and so to do." And I was like, "Well, I don't know if I want to say anything because I don't want to be masculine and I don't want to say or do anything," kind of a thing. But at the same time, I know if I just say and do nothing, like nothing kind of happens anyway. So it's a whole confusing thing. But with that, I kind of like freeze up and I don't do anything and I get into like overthinking and overanalyzing mode. And at the same time, I was scrolling through Facebook last night and all of a sudden I saw my friend Jeff. He from 98 degrees. He posted on Facebook and he was just like, oh, we're going to be in the Midwest and we're going to be doing a show on October 9th in Wisconsin, like 2.5 hours away. And no overthinking, no overanalyzing. I was like, and Ticketmaster, buy tickets, I'm going. So at least I know I'm going to be, at least I know what I'm going to be doing for my birthday. I'm going to be seeing 98 degrees for my birthday. But yeah, I was like, I'm not even going to like overthink this. I'm not even checking my bank account to see if the money is there. I'm just going to do it. And I feel like sometimes we need to do that sometimes. It's like, don't even think about it, just do it. And honestly, that's how I manifested meeting 98 degrees in the first place, like 22 years ago. I didn't overthink it. I literally followed my gut. My gut took me to where they were. So, and I don't know why. I've never had any issues when it comes to manifesting stuff like that. But when it comes to manifesting stuff with my person, it's like, and let's think about this for like 1 million years before we actually decide on anything. So, yeah. Um, he's very spiritual and has had more experience in that. I like to learn from others. Well, that's good. I mean, the school of life is exactly what we should be doing. We should be always learning. So, yes, have fun and don't hold back. That is true. Easier said than done when it comes to the overthinking side of it. But like I said, I have no issues doing these things when it comes to 98 degrees. I'm like, oh, the deep end, 98 degrees. I'm just going to dive in. No problem. But my person, forget it. It's like, I freeze up now. So, yeah. Anyway, seems like it's a pretty slow night, chill night, but I also haven't been on. I haven't been live in like forever. So, there's not a lot going on, not a lot of people coming in, but that's okay. That's all right. Um I think before I sign off, because nothing's really happening, but that's okay. I'm just gonna have to make sure to message Rachel about her reading because I know I owed her that from like last week. I'm checking Venmo really quick just because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything anywhere. Knowing my luck, I would sign off and then someone would be like, wait a minute, I paid you. Okay, we're good. So I think I'll just do a little general something before I sign off here. You better step up your person. I hope it works. Ugh, I hope so too. I don't know. I feel like I feel like half of my battle when it comes to him is I'm in my brain and in my emotions. I'm not like an adult. I'm not like who I normally am. It's like it takes me back and I revert to being between like the ages of 14 and 18 when I knew him. And I was a teenage mess and a teenage drama queen and it just an emotional basket case because I was a teenager basically. Um so I don't know. I got my own things to work out. Oh man. So we'll see. All in due time. We'll figure it out. But I think I'm gonna take out some written in the stars from my own deck cards and just do a little general reading for you, Melissa, or whoever else is here, whoever catches the playback of this. Just whoever needs to know these messages. Um, and I do plan on making the Etsy listing for this. I know I keep delaying it, and I only have myself to punish for that. Basically, I have no excuse, but I am going to be popping this up on Etsy, so it will be available for purchase. And yeah, and it is coming up in some pick a cards, so people can get to know it more as well. But it is general messages in this deck. And so there's a little bit of everything, a little bit of life, a little bit of love, a little bit of career, a little bit of everything. And the messages are pop culture related and Hollywood related. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll probably like this deck. Yeah, at an age when we are figuring out who we are, I get you. I was very mellow as a teen and a big loner. Yeah, teen years are hard. And then on top of that, when I met him, it was less than 2 years after my dad died. So you can imagine I was a big mess. And he's also 7 years older than me. So, um, so needless to say, that was very inappropriate. I was younger. Um, Not a big deal now, of course, but just saying. I was like, why am I like this? What is wrong with me? Okay. Anyways, so actually, he's the same age as 3 of the 4 members of 98 Degrees. I can't get away from guys who are 7 years older than me. I don't know what it is. So um traditionally, from what I've heard with the twin flame thing, usually they do have bigger age gaps. But to me, 7 years is not really a big age gap, especially as an adult. Like that's not a big deal. Like I said, like after he was in my life for that time period, like literally like the same year that he parted from my life was the same year that I met 98 Degrees. And 98 Degrees, like I said, 3 out of the 4 members in that group are the same age as him. So I cannot get away from guys in that age group. The only one who is not the same age as all the others is Drew, and he's 4 years older than me. But yeah, I don't think 7 years is like a huge age gap, honestly. Like there are a lot of people who, get married and have relationships and, they have like 7 years between them. But I think like the big age gaps are like the people who are like, there's 20 years apart in terms of age and that kind of thing. Like I think that's usually what they reference to with like the big age gaps with twin flames, which makes my situation look like nothing. But simply just because I was 14 when I met him, that's what makes it sound a little crazy. Yeah. But there's definitely still like this 14-year-old girl inside of me when it comes to him is the issue. So, anywho, let's see about these general messages here because I've been shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. My aunt has a 16-year age gap with her husband. He's older. Yeah, that's pretty significant. My parents were 10 years apart, so not quite as far apart as that, but they were 10 years apart from each other, and they were both older when they like got married and when they had me. Like they got married when my mom was 30 and my dad was 40. And back in those days, that was considered really old. Like 30 nowadays and 40 nowadays would be considered normal. But back then, like my mom was like one of the last of her friends to get married. All of her friends, by the time she got married, were already married and had kids and all this other kind of stuff. And then after they got married, it took them 7 years to have me. Funny enough, they got married. They got married the year that my person was born. Then 7 years later, they wound up having me. So my mom, oh, that one just flipped out. I don't know why this one always flips out. I'll get into this in a minute. So yeah, my mom was 37 and my dad was 47 when they had me. So random facts. Now, I don't know why this card always likes to flip out, but I feel like it always does. So the first card that came out is, and this one makes me laugh. I don't know why, because I was the one who created this deck. If he could, he'd have sister wives. So if you guys are familiar with the show Sister Wives, it's basically this story of this fundamentalist Mormon family, pretty much. And he's one man and he has 4 wives. He is legally married to only one of them, but he's spiritually married to all of them. So whenever I see this card, it basically implies like a guy who is not a one woman man. So there may be somebody out there who could be dealing with somebody who kind of has his eye wandering. And if he could have a gaggle of women, he would. So I don't know why that card likes to pop out a lot. I'm like, why does that card always want to come out? Who out there is dealing with a Cody Brown in their life? I have no idea. Um, Polygamy, no shade, but not my thing. Exactly. Yeah, 30 is not old nowadays. But back when my mom got married, it was like, oh my gosh, she's really old. um, but yeah, not my thing either. Not my thing either. No, I don't think that it's this guy. Like I said, this is a general thing, so I feel like it's kind of for whoever it resonates for right now. So it could be for anyone who, oh man, that one went flying. It could be for, someone who maybe watches this on a replay. Um, you know, could be a lot of different things. We also have dazzled by the Edward to your Bella. So obviously in Twilight, um, you know, Bella's basically dazzled by Edward is what it comes down to. He's a vampire. He's a 108-year-old or however old he was at that point in time vampire who is ridiculously hot, and she's just like enamored by his beauty and is kind of just like hypnotized by it. And he even asks her, do I dazzle you? So I feel like there could be someone out there that you are dazzled by, that you're kind of entranced by them. Could be this sister wives guy, hopefully not, unless you want to go that route. But if not, there could be somebody out there that you're dazzled by. So dazzling. Underestimated, like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. So, obviously in Legally Blonde, nobody thinks Elle can get the job done, is what it comes down to. Nobody thinks that, she can win the case, that she can be taken seriously, that she can be a lawyer, that she can basically make her dreams come true or reach her goals or do any of those things. Nobody believes in her. Everyone thinks that she's just going to be this blonde bimbo, could be a Playboy playmate, that she's just going to get by and on life based on her looks, and that's it. But she proves them all wrong. She may be the underdog. She may not have people believing in her, but she proves them wrong. And she's just like, I'll show you, I'll prove it to you. So sometimes we got to do that too. And, there could be something in your life that you may be facing right now where, maybe you feel like you don't have a lot of support around you right now. Maybe you feel like, you do kind of have to prove a point or whatever, and you can do it. You can totally do it. It could be in regards to your person. Maybe there are people around you who are just like, you need to walk away from that guy. You need to give up on him, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Love is love. And if it's in your heart and you're not ready to walk away and you don't want to give up and you see it as a worthwhile cause, then prove them wrong. Prove them. Just prove it. That's all you got to do. Sometimes all you got to do with people in those situations is just say, watch me. We also have, you may have worn 27 dresses, but expect your 28th to be great. So this is based off of the movie, obviously 27 Dresses. And in that movie, she's been a bridesmaid 27 times. So she has 27 dresses. And, by the end of the movie, she does wind up getting married, and her 28th dress is her wedding dress. So I feel like sometimes, we can feel like we're the last one to reach the finish line, whether it's like literally in regards to getting married, where we feel like we're going to be the last ones to get married, the last one to have babies, the last ones to do this, to do that. Sometimes we just feel like we're just going to come in last in terms of the finish line. But I don't think it's so much about, finishing last. It's just about the fact that as long as you finish, and sometimes they save the best for last. So, Once again, people may be underestimating you in a sense, but you can definitely prove them wrong and, prove to them like, hey, I am going to finish this race. I am going to finish. I am going to cross that finish line. I am going to wear that 28th dress and it's going to be mine. So, do you have a deck for masculine messages to the feminine? This is my only one as of right now. This is my very first one that I just created. So it's the only one that I've got as of the moment. Um, the first of many more to come. Uh, so yeah, I don't have that just yet. I do have other people's decks that would be messages from the masculine to the feminine, but I don't have any of those from myself just yet. I got to get this up on Etsy. So I got to get this one up on Etsy before I can start cranking out any more. I don't know if I'm going to get these two done before the end of the year, but before the end of the year, I would really like to be able to get out like a fall theme type of deck, just like general messages again, but kind of like more with a fall theme. And then something for the holidays, like a holiday themed deck. Once again, general messages, but holiday themed. I kind of love seasonal stuff and festive stuff, and especially Christmas. I get a little crazy. I kind of turn into Buddy the Elf around Christmas time. So I really like the idea of getting those kinds of decks out, especially in time for those seasons. And the fall one, I'm kind of cutting it close on that. So I really need to get that one going. But yeah, so those are the next two up that I'm going to work on. But I have a whole list here in my phone of deck ideas, and there's definitely love stuff that's on there that I want to work on and get out for sure. So I'm curious to hear some more messages from Oracle cards about the sky. I'll ask for an Oracle reading again in 1 second. Okay, that's cool. Yes, Christmas is amazing. Okay. Let me get out another card here, just general. My people will call your people. So I feel like, this is basically saying whoever you're in connection with, whoever you're in contact with, their people will call your people. So they will basically contact you. You don't have to worry about, putting yourself out there and, pushing yourself towards them or whatever, that they're going to reach out. They're going to reach out. You guys will do lunch. You guys will do all that fun stuff. Let me get one more in terms of just general messages for whoever needs it, whoever comes across this live, whoever watches the replay or whatever. So let's see. And you may be your own Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So obviously, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, she knew magic. She knew tricks. She knew spells. She knew all that kind of stuff. Basically, I kind of see this card as like, your own psychic abilities, your own intuition, your own spiritual talents in a sense. And we all have them, every single one of us. We all have them. And it's just a matter of exercising it. It's no different than any other muscle. We all have stomachs. Obviously, we all have stomachs. Some people's are, ripped. Some people's have six packs and are super fit and flat as a board. And other people's are big and flabby and fat and, not as healthy. But, anyone can get that six pack. Anyone can get that super healthy stomach. It's just a matter of if you work on it. And our spiritual muscle is no different than like our stomach muscle or any other physical muscle in our body. We all have that spiritual muscle. We all have that psychic muscle. And I feel like this is basically saying the more you're in tune with it, the more you're going to see like magical things happen in your life, and you're just going to manifest stuff and kind of be, like I said, your own little Sabrina here. So that's what I got for some general messages from Written in Stars, my own deck. And I just got to pop this baby up on Etsy So that way, then people can have access to it themselves. And then I can do more readings with it here so people know about it. So, yeah, that's all a thing. Another sip of my pumpkin spice latte. Mm. And that must be the PayPal. All right. I see there are 2 questions. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into that. Sign in. Okay. Let's see. What does the Scorpio want to say to you? And do you take a risk on starting a freelancing gig? Okay. All right. Well, let's see about what messages does he have to say? All right. Well, we're going to quite literally go with the divine masculine messages of love. Let's see what he has to say. All right. And freelancing, I mean, I'll see what the cards say, but I'm just going to say right off the bat, why not? Go for it. The beautiful thing about freelancing is you get to be your own boss. You get to make your own hours. If you don't want to take a gig, you don't have to take a gig. If you want to take a gig, you can take a gig. There's so much freedom in that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. You know, people can even freelance while they're still working regular jobs for that matter. So yeah, but I will double check with the cards on that though. Oh my goodness, all the cards just went flying. I feel like when the cards go flying like that, they're just like, we have a lot to say. I'm like, okay, you may have a lot to say, but can we take a chill pill? Hi. Do you want to say hello? Come here. Come here. We do have a message from a divine masculine. From a divine masculine doggy. Okay, calm down. Look up. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, big yawn. Yes. You going to say hi? Say hi to YouTube. Do you want to do the reading? Do you want to do it? Are you being cute? Yes. I love you. Are you my good boy? Are you going to spend a day with your grandma while I go see 98 degrees? Mm-hmm. Yes, you are. He came over by my feet, so I was just like, okay, this is an opportunity for him to say hello, because he always liked to say hi. Yes, you're a good boy. Can I put you down so I can do the reading? I love you. Okay, good boy. I'll put you down. All right. Go lay down in your bed. Does he like cuddles? Oh my gosh. That's an understatement. Um I posted this on TikTok. I gotta find this now. I don't know if it's gonna work playing. Oh my goodness, that's loud. I don't know if this is gonna work playing this over the live, but I'll see if it works. This is an example of how he is. I did this on TikTok, and this is exactly how he is when it comes to cuddles. Please, Dad, don't make me go outside and repeat. I'm so comfy with Mom. We've got the blanket as he did, and I did not want to. Please don't make me do it. Well, you gotta go pee eventually. Well, I can hold it. How long are you gonna hold it? Nap time, carry the 14 hours. I just need like 14 more hours with Mom. I just want to sleep here with Mom. Oh, you gotta go pee. No, you gotta get out of bed. Fine. It's really hard, I know. 15 hours, please. Just 15. 14 is too much, I get it. I'll do 15 hours. That's how much time I need to sleep. No. Please, Dad. Don't make me. I crack up every single time. But yeah, he really is like that in bed. Like, when I get up in the morning, he is not the kind of dog where, like other normal dogs, I guess, where, you wake up and they're right in your face and they're licking your face and they're like, take me outside, feed me, that kind of thing. They're usually not like that. He's not like that at all. Instead, I'll get up, I'll go to the bathroom, I'll shower, I'll do whatever I need to do. He will be laying in bed the entire time. He is extremely lazy in the morning, and sometimes he is so good at it that he'll manage to just like, lay down right in like this perfect little spot, this perfect little niche. And he'll be like, no, I'm not letting you get up. I'm not letting you go to the bathroom. You can hold it. So he's terrible with this. He is. He's notorious for being lazy, notorious for the cuddles. Um, and that's what makes it so hard. Him looking serene and happy. I don't want to move him, and then I'm like, I have to get up, Shadow. I have to start the day. So yeah, he does not like leaving his comfy spot. He's really good at the cuddles for sure. You know, if he could make money off of cuddling, I mean, I would never have to work another day in my life. That's for sure. Because he is so good at that. Yeah, aren't you? You're a professional cuddler. All right, let's see what he has to. And this is funny. All right, first card that came out for you, Melissa. And I know this came out with the journey of love messages. And I know he's not vocal to you about this, but like I said, just because he's not being vocal about it doesn't mean he's not thinking about it. You turn me on. So obviously, we got something going on there. That passion, that heat, that desire, it's still there. Nope, the cards don't lie. They really don't. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first one that came out. The you turned me on one. Like, what? I see you everywhere. So I feel like, he's reminded of you quite a bit, even when he's not on Instagram, even when he's, just like doing his own thing out and about in his neck of the world, doing his thing. He probably gets reminders of you, maybe just certain things that you've said or done or mentioned. It definitely gets his attention. And, he's reminded of you. Quiet buzz there, 1000%. I feel like when he does express it, when he does vocalize it, because he has been so quiet about it, it may be a bit combustible. It may be a little explosive just because it's been brewing underneath the surface for a while. I am healing, which totally makes sense with the stuff that he's going through right now, all that transformative stuff he's experiencing. So, yeah, him being in that hanged man position, kind of transforming from the caterpillar to the butterfly, it's a healing process. He's going through some things that he's got to change and turn around, and it's best to let him do that because, you don't want him in kind of this broken, messed up version of himself. If he wants to present the best version of himself to you, let him do it. I see you in my future, so he definitely does see a potential for this. Kind of similar to that companionship card that came out before too. He definitely sees this as something that could have forward movement down the road. OMG, I told him something flirty and playful last time, but he didn't reply. He may have just didn't know what to say, He may have been surprised too that maybe you were the one to even like breach that or go there. Oh, we got one that fell out. So I kind of had to stay back, and I felt so embarrassed for saying that. What are you doing? Don't start scooching your butt in here. He's been scooting on his ass lately. I need to take him to the vet and get his anals squeezed. Don't do that. Yeah, I don't need your butt marks on the floor. Oh my gosh, dogs. Um, I will love you for the rest of my life. So, like I said, his feelings seem pretty legit here, pretty real. Um, and I feel like maybe that's why he doesn't say anything because once again, if he really is, very truthful and he's very honest, he probably doesn't want to like come out and actually say things like, oh, I have like these big fat strong feelings for you. I see you in my future, you turn me on, all these other things. He probably doesn't want to scare you away, which is probably why he just doesn't say anything much right now. um like I feel like if he didn't want you around, he would actually say that. He would be like, "Hey, buzz off." But he's not saying, "Hey, buzz off" or anything like that. He's just not saying anything because he's dealing with his own stuff right now and it's so new and he probably doesn't want to scare you off or anything. Hi, Stormy Waters. Good to see you too. I feel like it's been a long time. Yeah, dogs do that. It's nature. And I'm like, man, usually when they do that, they got to get their anal glands expressed. And he hasn't has had his done in a long time, but he usually doesn't scoot like that. So when he starts scooting, I'm like, okay, that's it. I know he needs to get that done. So, um, yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, that one just went flying. Hello. Da, 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 da. Oh, wow. I can definitely see why he wouldn't want to scare you, because this one's intense. um, I want to start a family with you, or I want a family with you. But either way, it's about family, marriage, babies, that kind of thing. I can see why he may kind of like hang back and not say stuff because if he's thinking those kinds of serious thoughts already, and this is a new thing, and he only knows you on Instagram, and you guys are in two separate countries, yeah, that may be a little overwhelming if he's thinking those things and feeling those things. And he's not going to want to scare you, and he probably doesn't know that you're as interested in him as you are. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is surprising. Um, Let me get one more and then we'll see about that freelancing question. Totally spot on. I am transforming 1000%. He's going through this transformation process. So I think, mainly between his own crap that he's dealing with that he was probably already dealing with before he met you, and then with the strong emotions that he has for you, he's just not in the place to like totally express this stuff yet or totally like go all in just yet because he needs to figure himself out first. And I feel like once he figures himself out, he'll be in a better position to be like, okay, maybe now I can open up a little bit more of how I'm feeling and figure out how to express that in a way that's not going to terrify her. uh, so yeah. I'm not freaked out, but maybe embarrassed. Wow, that's good. He's working on himself. Me too. I want to be a better version of myself. Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do. That's all we can try to be is the best version of ourselves. And we're gonna have days where we fall down flat on our face and we're gonna screw up and we're gonna beat ourselves up. And those days happen. It's okay. We're humans. It's just as long as we get up and we try it again the next day until we get it right, until we make some kind of progress. But yeah, and don't be embarrassed. It's human. It's understandable. We all have those embarrassing feelings. We're just like, I don't want anyone to know how I'm feeling. um but let's shift gears and go into that freelancing question. Freelancing. Um, I think I'm gonna go with the angel answers on that. Angel answers. Come here, my little angels. Let's see. Should you go into some freelancing stuff? But yeah, automatically, like I said, without even pulling a card yet, I feel like the automatic answer is why not? Like, go for it. You know, freelancing gigs are not permanent. You know, that's the beauty of them is they're not permanent. It's not like a full-time job and you're committing the rest of your life to this or anything like that. Um, you know, you can choose to take the gig, you can choose not to. It's, you know, it's not the end of the world. I think the most important thing is as long as you're negotiating like your worth and your value into what happens with the gig in terms of your time and your energy and the compensation you're getting back for it. That's the most important part. um so yeah, usually I'm like, feelings run away. I don't know, it can be intimidating. Totally understandable. Your Capricorn moon and Capricorn Venus. Ah, yes. Well, that Capricorn moon, especially there with those emotions, are definitely going to put you in quite the workaholic mode. I feel like I always wind up making like good friends with people who are usually Capricorn something. I don't know why that is, but I always wind up connecting with a lot of Capricorn people. So, all right. So I hate it when this card comes out because I feel like this card just states the obvious. It's like, well, duh, that's why we're pulling cards right now. The first card out says, ask for help from others, which is funny because that's what you're here doing. You're asking for help to figure out this question in regards to freelancing. And that's why I hate this card because every time, even if I pull cards for myself with this deck and I get this card, I'm like, what do you think I'm doing right now? I'm asking for help. That card drives me nuts. So obviously, I'm going to keep pulling here. Hi, Zara. Welcome to the live. Yes, you can ask a question, but I am doing paid readings only. So the information for paid readings is all in the description box down below. You can send a payment to either PayPal or Venmo, and all the reading offerings are $10 or under, depending on what you choose. So there we go. All right, let's see what else we got here with this freelancing question. Like, come on now, let's get a little bit more here than ask for help from others. All right, so no need to worry. So I feel like with no need to worry coming out, it's basically saying kind of what I've already been saying about this freelancing thing is not to stress about it. You know, like if you feel like you want to try something out, you want to try out a gig, go ahead and try it. If it doesn't work, if it's not for you, it's a freelancing thing. You can end it pretty much at any time that you're comfortable with. Um, so you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, it does. So you know, kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the overthinking and the overanalyzing. Try not to overthink it is the most important thing. Try not to overthink it. I have to ask someone how to start this freelance stuff. I know some people, but I don't reach out to them often. Well, that depends. Like when you say freelancing, what type of freelancing work are you looking at doing? Because there's all kinds of freelancing work. I mean, there are people who do graphic design, there are people who do social media, there are people who do like freelance writing for like blogs and websites and that kind of thing. So it depends on what type of freelance work you're talking about, because that's going to vary depending on the field, on the skill. So that kind of depends. Like, what is it that you want to do? Copywriting. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna put a link to something really quick here in the chat for you. Before I started doing readings on YouTube, and like this was like a little over 2 years ago, like maybe 2.5 years ago or something like that. It was like early 2019. And I was trying to like branch out and try some other things in conjunction to walking dogs when I was dog walking. And I started my blog at that time, which I still have, but I haven't updated it in forever. And I should probably update it because I kind of use it as home base for like a whole bunch of different things. So I still have my blog, but at the same time, I was looking for other, nooks and crannies and niches and that kind of thing to make money. And I wanted to try like a little bit of freelance writing, which would kind of be in the department of like copywriting, like what you're saying. And there was a online course that I took. I don't remember which course it was, but there's this website. It's called the Freelance Writers Den or something like that. Anyways, I'm going to put the link in the chat here for you. You can check it out. I get emails from them all the time because I'm like on their email list. I never look at their stuff because I'm not doing that right now. But they offer a lot of like resources and information, especially for people who are just wanting to start up and doing stuff like that. So let me pull up that link really quick and put it in there for you. Um okay, well I found the form. Why is it saying an online community where freelance writers learn to grow their income? Join waiting list. Yeah, there's usually a waiting list. Like if you take a course, you're automatically put into it. But where is the girl who runs it? Because there's like, uh, where is she? I don't remember her name. Okay, let me put this in first, and then I'll see if I can figure out who the girl is who runs it. Because the girl who runs it has like a bunch of resources on her website too. Okay, so that's the Writers Den. Yeah, like I said, there's usually a waiting list for it, but I know I can find more information on that. I just gotta check really quick. Um, yeah, so there's that. Let me see if what is her name? I can't remember the girl's name who runs this. Maybe contact. Maybe that'll tell me. What is her name? I can't remember her name. There's like a girl who maybe it's under affiliates. Can't remember her name. No. Oh man, what is her name? I don't. Oh, this may take a while. What is her name? This is gonna bug me now. Um, hmm. Because I know there's like another website where you may not have to like wait to get in like this one to be a part of the forum. There is a job board I see on this website. Huh. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. This could take me down a rabbit hole trying to find the girl who runs it because there's a specific person who runs it, and I know that the person. Wait, I think maybe I just thought of the name of it. Hold on. Make a living writing. Is that it? Is that it? Did I think of the right one? This might be it. No, get out of here. I don't want the ad popping up. Maybe this is it. Because I think I get emails from this one too. I get like a whole bunch of these. Okay, I'm gonna put in this link too. This might be the one I was thinking about. It's in connection to the Writer's Den that I just sent you. Okay, so there's Make a Living Writing. So you can try that one too. And then for shits and giggles, I got one more for you, which is not in connection to the two I just sent you. But this one might be helpful for you too. This is Elite Blog Academy. And I know you're not talking about like blogging specifically. But sometimes bloggers, need copywriters. They need help with writing and that kind of stuff in general. So it might be good to network with bloggers and that kind of thing. So that one might be helpful for you too. I get emails from these people like all the time because I signed up for all this stuff like 2 years ago. Now I don't do anything with it, but if I can pass on that information to somebody else who may be looking to get into that, great. Then fantastic. So check those out, research those. You may find some like helpful articles on those websites to just give you some more information on how to go about the process, who to contact, what to do, things like that. So anyways, let me get back to the cards here on this one. All right. What else do we need? No need to worry. And wait. So I feel like wait isn't saying like don't do it, but they may be kind of saying like wait until you have done a little bit more research. Like obviously you have these 3 websites now that you can check out. It may not be necessarily like wait, don't do it, but more like wait and kind of do your research, just like gather information, so that way, then you're not just like kind of randomly applying all willy nilly, not really knowing what you're doing. Like, at least that way, then you have a plan, you kind of know a little bit more information on how to go about things, what exactly to do. So, I feel like wait is more in regards to like planning, just like preparation and getting it together, kind of a thing. You're very welcome. I'm glad that helps. Let me get a couple more here for you with the freelancing. And we have success. So I do feel like success will come to you out of this new adventure, out of this new journey in trying out freelancing. It may take a little bit of, trial and error. You may have to wait a little bit just in terms of maybe getting your first gig, or or just in terms of like educating yourself and doing your research and that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, you put your foot out there, you take a step, you give it a try, success is going to come to you. So, and that's the thing with any kind of gig work, some jobs are going to be good and others aren't. You don't have to take every single job that's thrown at you. I just thought of another thing maybe for you to try. Look on Instagram, look up freelancing females. I think that's what they go by, freelancing females, but it's basically like women who are freelancers basically, and they share a lot of good information there too. And there's also like a bunch of Facebook groups that I'm on too when it comes to that kind of stuff as well, because I get notifications from those Facebook groups all the time. The best thing you can do is just like network and research, and the more you do that, the more information you're going to gather. But yeah, definitely try also freelancing females on Instagram. Freelancing females, I think that's it. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, there's like several of them on there that I follow on Instagram. Freelancing females. I think there's also bloggers who brunch, I think is like another one. But yeah. And we have recovery, which is interesting. I usually think of recovery in regards to healing. But, like I said, when it comes to freelancing, it's kind of trial and error. There may be times where it works and times where it doesn't. But, the fact that success came out here first and foremost, I feel like success will be yours. It is going to happen. It's just trial and error. Got it. I wrote it down. Thank you so much. You're welcome. That's all it takes is like a bunch of resources. And then, it's funny, you were talking about social media and how it's oversaturated. Well, this is how my email and my notifications are overly saturated, because I get notifications from this shit all the time. And I don't need half the shit most of the time. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all this? I don't know. But hey, glad it's able to help somebody. And we have a year from now. So I don't feel like a year from now is saying like, oh, go and try freelancing a year from now. But I feel like if you start the process now in terms of researching it and understanding it and starting to network within that community and start getting your feet wet, start taking like a couple of gigs here and there, just kind of start off small and build your way up, that a year from now you're going to see like a huge difference, and that you may just be freelancing left and right, and you may be like everybody's go-to girl basically when it comes to copywriting, and you may even find yourself expanding into other areas even beyond copywriting. But I feel like the process starts now. But if you start it now, a year from now, your career, your money, like your path with all of that is going to look completely different, and in a positive way, in a way that's going to be beneficial to you. So yeah, so hopefully that helps. Either way, go for it. Just, do some research, put your foot out there. You don't know unless you try. It's kind of like me with my Etsy right now. It's like, I don't know unless I put it up there. I got to put it up there. So yeah. All right. I'm going to check my phone really quick, double check and make sure there's nothing I missed from anybody, because I know a couple people kind of like popped in and popped out. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything there. Venmo. Hi, Venmo. How are you today? Okay. Venmo is quiet. And PayPal. Refresh you, my friend. And PayPal is good. All right. So we're all good. I feel it can happen. I'm excited. Thank you so much. You are very welcome. And I'm excited for you. It can definitely happen, without a doubt. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I'm going to grab some dinner because I haven't had dinner yet and I'm kind of hungry. So yeah, but thanks for hanging out. And I'm going to get that fall pick a card up hopefully within the next couple of days. I know today's the first day of fall, but it's a fall pick a card for the rest of the season. But most importantly, I got to get that Etsy listing up so I can officially like introduce my deck in full here on YouTube, which I'm going to do very soon. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. And I'm glad I actually got on and was able to be live tonight. And I got to be more consistent about these and be on more often. And yeah, lives are now Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, officially now from like here on out, as long as I am consistent. They're not going to be Mondays and Fridays anymore because that schedule just wasn't working anymore with other things that I was doing. But the middle of the week seems to be good, seems to be positive. So sounds good. Sounds good. Me too. I'm hungry. Take care, Heather. And thank you. You're very welcome, Melissa. And to anybody else who did pop in. So I will see you guys later. I'll see you next week here live and with whatever pick a cards come before then. So have a good week. Keep sparkling. Love you. And I'll see you guys later.